YouTooz Glamrock Freddy. Outer layer is pretty good. Shows all the figures, kind of the creepiness of them with the virus. Here's his inward box. I like the wording and the setting they have for this, so this one I'll give a 10 out of 10. So with the stability and the design and everything that we are seeing here, I give the figure an overall 9 out of 10. Outer box design, inner box design, overall design is a 9 out of 10 for Glamrock Freddy. This is YouTooz Roxanne Wolf. Here's the outer box, having her on the front, of course. Again, like an 8 out of 10, because, I don't know, the outer box is just not as unique as the others. Inner box doesn't have as much wording, but the detail and design is pretty good. Not as good as I think as Freddy's was, though, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Oh, yeah, no. Good luck outrunning her. And here is Roxanne Wolf herself. It's very well designed, very detailed. I'd say her detail is even better than Freddy's, in my opinion. So for that, I give her design a 10 out of 10 as well. Her stability is on point because of the padding at the bottom. Next to that, her stability is also a 10 out of 10. Roxanne Wolf's total comes to a 9.25 out of 10. YouTooz Montgomery Gator. Outer box, similar to the others, so again, 8 out of 10. Inner box looks freaking sick. So this is a 10 out of 10. Love it. Here's Monty's figure himself. Originally, thought about giving the detail 9 out of 10. Then I noticed they even included his eyes underneath the sunglasses, so I changed it to a 10 out of 10. Stability is a 9 out of 10. All that adding up to a 9.25 out of 10. This is YouTooz Glamrock Chica. This is the outer box. Again, it's the same as the other four. 8 out of 10. Here's the inner box. Design's not as impressive as Monty's or Freddy's, in my opinion, but it's still good. So 9 out of 10. Here is her final design. I like the guitar and the little bows and the details they give her. Her stability is a 10 out of 10. And her detailed design is a 10 out of 10. Nicely done. So her final total is a 9.25 out of 10. And here is the second set for YouTooz Five Nights at Freddy's. This one is Security Breach. Their overall total as a set came to a 9.2 out of 10. It's pretty good. YouTooz Naruto. Outer box, 10 out of 10. Inner box, 8 out of 10 because it's very similar to the outer box. Figure itself. Design is a 9 out of 10. Don't really like the nose. Stability, ooh, that is a 5 out of 10 for stability. Overall total is an 8 out of 10 for the entire figure of YouTooz Naruto. YouTooz Sakura. Outer box, 10 out of 10. Inner box, 9 out of 10. Still too similar to the outer box. Figure herself, 10 out of 10. Stability, 8 out of 10. Total score, 9 out of 10 for YouTooz Sakura. YouTooz Sasuke. Outer box, 10 out of 10. Inner box, 9 out of 10. Figure itself, 10 out of 10. Stability, 8 out of 10. Total score is a 9.25 out of 10 for YouTooz Sasuke. Naruto! 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 YouTooz Naruto Ramen. Outer box, 9 out of 10. Inner box, 9 out of 10. Figure design, 10 out of 10. Stability, 9 out of 10. Final score is a 9.25 out of 10 for Naruto Ramen YouTooz.
Itadakimasu!
Here is the full first set of YouTooz Naruto. Total score for the entire set is an 8.875 out of 10. Thank you. YouTooz John Wick from John Wick Chapter 4. Outer box, 9 out of 10. Inner box, 10 out of 10. Figure itself, 10 out of 10. Stability, 10 out of 10. This makes John Wick's figure a 9.75 out of 10. Well done, YouTooz. YouTooz Stephen He. Outer box, 10 out of 10. Inner box,
Emotional, damn it! Only language you speak is failure!
10 out of 10. Figure itself, 10 out of 10. Stability, yeah, that's a 0 out of 10. Total score is a 7.5 out of 10 for YouTooz Stephen He. Welcome to the YouTooz Haunted Collection for Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's start off with Freddy. Start off with the protective casing that they use to ship him in, just for maximum protection. We have the outer box, which shows his title, and little new thing that they have been doing is a transparent front side here, so you can actually see the figure on the inside. Kind of makes it a little more creepy too with these figures in particular, because you can actually, one, see the figure, but also, like for Golden Freddy here, he has no eye sockets, or like it looks like he doesn't, so it gives it a little more of a creepy factor for the FNAF characters. But for Freddy's outer box, you have his title, have the Five Nights at Freddy's logo, the actual figure for both the back and the left side. We have the box itself right here. So on this front side here, you can see the figure. You have the title of Haunted Freddy. He's number 25 of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. On the side here, we have him again, his 2D plastered version on the side. On the back, it's a little more creative with the ghost actually leaving Freddy and a missing child poster, as well as the backside having a quote saying, "In the hearts of kids, these characters will live on." On the side here, it reads, "It's a tragedy." The top part, when you open it, has another quote, and this one says, "We want to go home." And here's the actual figure itself. He has his little ghost guy, his top hat, and everything. Unfortunately, his nose does not boop. He has the same blue eyes as the first Freddy YouTooz that they brought out. He is more stable than the original Freddy. I do think that design-wise, the original does outclass the Haunted one, mainly because the Haunted one, compared to the rest of the collection, does not look as creepy and looks more afraid than menacing when compared to the others. Overall, I would give this figure a 9 out of 10. Just a few little tweaks that I thought could have been a little bit better, but he is a very good figure, so give him that. Next up on the list, we have Chica. So she is here in her protective casing as well. Her outer box is similar to Freddy's in terms that it has her title, Haunted Chica, her on the side, her on the back with the title, and the Five Nights at Freddy's logo. And here is the outer case with her on the front, as well as her title, her on the side, her on the back with her ghost escaping, similar to Freddy's as well, but hers being a little more creepier than his. And her quote on the side here is, "5 children reported missing. Suspect has been convicted. Bodies were never recovered." Those of you who know, the bodies were in the animatronics, which is messed up. And then because of this event, the quote at the bottom here says, "Local pizzeria said to have closed by the year's end." I believe is the iconic quote of, "I was the first. I saw everything." Pretty good attention to detail in terms of the characters and the lore. And here is Chica's original figure. She has her ghost at the top. Does not have her cupcake like her original does, which I think is a bit of a downgrade, but still works more for this type of collection. She has pink eyes in this one, still has her bib, and hers is more like her figure is pressed up against the wall and screaming outwards, which I thought was a good detail. She is more stable than her original counterparts because of the plating at the bottom. Overall, again, give this one a 9 out of 10. Downgraded it a bit because, again, it doesn't have the cupcake, and even though it would make sense in a way for the cupcake not to be involved with this type of collection, I feel like they could have included it in some sort of way. But overall, yeah, still an incredible figure. I didn't mention before, so Freddy was number 25 in the series. Chica is number 26. So now we're moving on to Foxy. Or Bonnie. Foxy or Bonnie. We'll see in a second. So next up we have Foxy. He, of course, has a protective case. His outer box is similar, has his name, has his pictures, has the logo. All of them are pretty much similar in this series, which makes sense because it all is one collection. And here is his inner box, which again has him right here at the front and his portrait and the name, Haunted Foxy. He is number 27 in the series. Here is him with his picture and the YouTooz logo. And here we have his backside. What? And here we have the back of the case, which shows a very creepy Foxy crawling through the ventilation system, I believe. His ghost escaping from his mouth and saying, "They say the suspect dressed as a mascot to earn the children's trust," which yes, he did. It was very messed up. A quote on the side here says they were never found, which no, they weren't. Sadagan was very clever and very stupid. We again see his little face, and his quote at the top is, "Where are we?" Jesus, very messed up. And here we have the figure himself. His eye patch is flipped up. He, like his counterpart here, has yellow eyes, except he also has his little ghost, still has his hook, his ripped up and more torn animatronic, which, fun fact, is more... Hello? Which, fun fact about this character, and compared to the others, his is more mangled and distorted. I don't remember why. I think it's interesting that they kept that in. His has more of a creepy stance and looks a little more angry than his original. And it also looks like he's taller, which is a little interesting because as we saw with the other two originals, they were taller than their haunted versions. So kind of an interesting vice versa effect here. But yeah, this is Haunted Foxy. I give him a 10 out of 10 because he is more stable than the original Foxy, which is interesting because the original Foxy is more stable in his collection group. And I just think like his pose and his position and everything they added to it, especially flipping up the eye patch and showing he has both eyes, is just more attention to detail, and I really appreciate that. So Haunted Foxy is a 10 out of 10. Next up, we have Haunted Bonnie, which from this angle and this lighting, it looks really creepy, which is a good thing. We have him at the side with the YouTooz logo, have him on the back with his name, and have the Five Nights at Freddy's logo. So all things the same as the rest of the collection. Here's his inner box. He is number 28 of the Five Nights at Freddy's collection. Here's him again at the front with his name. Him at the side. Him on the back, which I feel like is one of the more creepier versions of this collection, which makes sense to me because for those of you who don't know, Bonnie was the animatronic that scared the crap out of Scott Cawthon when he was making the game. So I think attention to detail wise, that is pretty dang good to have him be one of the scariest ones to have for the artwork of this series. His quote on the back has said, "One parent likened them to reanimated carcasses." Yeah. I wonder why. On the side here, we have the next quote said, "Parents reportedly noticed what appeared to be blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the mascots." You'd think they would have taken a hint for that as well then, but they never did. And then the top again has Bonnie. Inside has his quote saying, "Where is that foul odor coming from?" This box came in a little more mangled. I apologize for that. But nevertheless, still a good box, still a good figure. Let's move on to the actual figure itself. Here are the figures, the original, who still has his guitar, and the new haunted one, who has a little ghost friend at the top. Interestingly enough, what I didn't notice about this, but now notice, is that Bonnie is the only one who does not have eyebrows. And the fact that they kept that attention to detail on both figures, I think, is fantastic. He still has his iconic red eyes. He does not have his guitar, though, and that is kind of a killer for me. It might not seem like a big deal, but I feel like they could have like strung it on his back or something, or they could have done something with the guitar. Because of that little detail of no guitar, it is not going to change the original rating I have. Psych! I got you! The artwork for this box and this character was spot on and horrifying as heck. So Bonnie gets a 10 out of 10. He is also more stable than his original because he has the platform piece. Bonnie is a 10 out of 10. Congratulations, big guy. You managed to squeak it out. Last up on the list, we have Golden Freddy. And here he is with his protective covering. His outer box, oh my word, that's creepy, has his haunted thing, has his picture on the side with his name, the Five Nights at Freddy's logo, and of course him back at the front here. And here he is with the inner box, again, him at the front with the name, Haunted Golden Freddy, him at the side here with his little ghost buddy, him at the, Oh, I might have to take it back. I think, oh man, Golden Freddy. No. Oh, Golden Freddy almost squeaked past Bonnie, but that is still horrifying to look at. Okay. But his back says, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has announced that they will close by year's end. Oh, man. Okay, that's a bit of a downgrade, because that's exactly what I think it was. It was either Chica's or Foxy's box said, so yeah, kind of a letdown that it's a similar quote. I was hoping for something a little different, but whatever. The side view here has it saying vanished without a trace. Is that another copy? Or maybe it's combining all of them, because he is the last figure in this Haunted collection. He is number 29, by the way, in the FNAF series. His top part here says, "Who was I?" Okay, that's a plus. It's not a direct copy. And of course, he's at the top here. Okay, gotta be honest, was hoping for a bit of a kicker with this character and this model. Not too impressed so far. Sorry, but I'm not. And here's the figure itself. He is stable with his flat piece. He has his top head. He has black eyes, which I thought is very creative and very smart of them to do, because they can still add in their little logo thing here with the squinted happy eyes while still keeping it in character, because Golden Freddy has no eye sockets. He's a little damaged on the sides of certain parts of his figure. Got a little bit mangled, which is symbolic, because it does reference that he is older than all the other animatronics. He has his little ghost buddy here, which is kind of me nitpicking, but incorrect. He's supposed to have two ghosts on the side here, which makes him somewhat unique. While it is somewhat of a theory, it was confirmed that two people are actually possessing Golden Freddy, so you lose a bit of points for that. You gain it with stability, but I'm not too impressed that they only have one ghost here and not two. Again, I'm nitpicking a bit, but he's not in his typical sit-down position. I do have the figure, the original Golden Freddy figure, that does have him in his sit-down position. I feel like if they were to have him standing, it would be more like how he did in the movie. And he would be a little more creepier. He's not as menacing as the other characters as well. So I'm sorry to say, I feel like I gotta give Golden Freddy's figure a 7 out of 10. I'm not too impressed with what they did here. They did still keep his bow tie as well. I didn't really show that, but they did. So yeah, I'm sorry, but he gets a 7 out of 10. So with that, this concludes our review of the Five Nights at Freddy's Haunted Collection. Tallying up the total of all 5 characters, we had a 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and a 7 out of 10, which brought it to a total of 45 out of 50. Rounding that all up would be a 9 out of 10 for the total series. So still a good job, YouTooz. Hello everyone, and welcome to Apricot Fruit YouTooz Review. And here is the outer box with the protective casing. It shows her name, and it has this cool blue flame at the front. You also get to see her, as the newer ones now have a see-through showing you the actual figure, even on the outside. We have her 2D design on the side with the YouTooz logo. Again, the 2D design, her name, and the purple skulls on the back, which is cool. And the cool blue flames as well. And here is her inward box. She, I believe, is number 6 of the VTuber collection. It's either VTuber or it's Twitch collection. I'm not sure which. I believe it's VTuber, but it could be Twitch as well. Again, she has her name, final figure, VTuber. Oh, I'm a moron. Right here. She is part of the VTuber collection. She's number 6. We have, again, her profile thing on the back here with the blue flames and the cool little chain gate. We have a nice dark spooky house with some skeleton creatures and a back that says, "My soul is now in your possession. Please look after me, okay?" I was like, all right. We have the side here, which shows the other half, or the other part of this skeleton. And says, "Frick, release me from this vinyl prison." And then we have the top that again has her 2D design. Let's see what the inside part has to say. "You can add me to your collection, but in return, I want your soul, Kay? Hee. Yeah, no, okay, I think I will be selling this one." And here is the figure herself. She has her unique costume design on, a little lollipop in her hand, her demon horns, wings in the back, and I gotta say, like, seeing this in a 2D concept and the 3D prototype online is one thing, but actually having the figure itself, it is insane how well this figure is. Like, the details on this is incredible. Like, there's nothing that is exaggerated. It's exactly how it looks online, except it's just better. Like, this design is outstanding. Like, they got everything added on here. So, yeah, I think I will be giving her figure itself a 10 out of 10. If you also want the bottom, the YouTooz thing. Whew, yeah, because it's just impressive, like, how much detail they were able to put into this. So, yeah, with that all being said, I gotta say, I give the entire figure as a whole for this VTuber collection a 10 out of 10. They really outdid themselves. The model is stable, the outside box is beautifully done, the inside box has a nice contrast of the blue flames and the purple. The quotes are iffy, but they're good still. And the inside of the box has these cool skulls mixed with the blue flame and candles. So it's just, wow, they just really did their research on this and were very creative with the figure. I gotta say, it is a 10 out of 10 figure for me. So, YouTooz Minecraft series number 1. Let's start with the Ender Dragon. We have the outer box with the matinee cover for protection. We have the name at the front, calling it the vinyl figure. Him on the side with the back, vinyl figure, YouTooz logo, and then the Minecraft logo on the side here. Also, his design is unique compared to the other 3, since it is more in his region than in the main region of Minecraft. Here's the inner box. He is number 0 in the series, which means he is the first one. We have him at the front here, his name, vinyl figure, Minecraft collection, and the YouTooz logo. We have him with one of the pillars where the health regen thing would be at the top, and instead they have the YouTooz logo, which is pretty creative. Oh my word. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah, and so instead of, because he doesn't speak, so instead of wording, we get him flying towards you ready to attack. That is sick. And we get one of the side of the pillars right here. Let's look at the top. With him at the top, fight the Ender Dragon, which is the final boss of the game. That's pretty cool. Now let's take a look at the model itself. And here's the figure itself. You can see he has little squares on the side, as well as little square patterns for where his fire breath comes out. As a type of Minecraft pattern, I thought that was pretty cool. Got a little nervous at first because the wings are flexible, but I would not bend them back and forth for fear of them breaking. He is kind of stable, but his bottom part is mainly flat. There's nothing really to worry about. He's a really cool looking figure. I'm now going to give you guys a 360 view. All in all, I give the Ender Dragon a 10 out of 10. Fantastic art box design, fantastic character design and adaptation from a block figure to a more 3D looking YouTooz figure. Very good. So 10 out of 10 for the Ender Dragon. Now we move on to the Creeper. And here is YouTooz Creeper. He also has plastic protection. Has him on the side. Has him on the side with his name. Has the Minecraft logo. And of course him on the front with his name and all the stuff. And you can also see him on the inside. And he, like his dog companion, will have the normal Minecraft looking pattern because they are from the normal Minecraft looking plane. And here is the inward looking box. He is number 1 in the series. So he is the second figure to be made. Has his face, his name, the YouTooz logo. Have him on the side with some nice forest background. Same thing over here. And this one, he has some exploding art design of him jumping in midair. Don't know what he's blowing up, but it looks like he's having a good time, so that's fun. I really do appreciate how YouTooz changed their box design for this one, because most of the time they do have wording for all sides, but because these ones don't technically speak, I like that they decided to go in a different creative direction with it. Of course, there's the top with his face. The wording on the inside, boom, which is the sound they make before they explode. Pretty cool. And now for the figure itself. Here's the figure itself. Kept the mouth the same, but changed the eyes for the YouTooz types thing. They again also got creative with the pattern detail, but kept it very much similar to that of Minecraft, which I appreciate. I just noticed the detail on the feet as well, so they really did pay attention to the detail of the figure. He is actually, nope, never mind, he's not as stable as the dragon. Do not hit him on the left side, he will fall. But without further ado, here's a full 360 view. So overall, I would give the Creeper a 9 out of 10. Sole reason because, again, he is definitely not stable on the left side of the figure. But the design and everything was well done, and the box design, again, was unique. Creeper gets a 9 out of 10. Now moving on to the final figure, the dog. And here's the final figure, the wolf. Sorry I called it a dog earlier. But again, protective box, nib at the front, you can see through. Him on the side, he's a little cutie. Him on the back with his name, the YouTooz logo, and the Minecraft logo on the side. And again, same pattern as the Creeper because they are in the same environment. And here's the inward box. He is number 2 in the series. Got his name, Minecraft collection. You can see him again with his little face, YouTooz logo. Got him on the side here, looking at the clouds and the trees in the background. Got a couple more flowers and more of the environment. And then his art design is adorable because he has 2 little pups next to him and he's looking right at you happily. Of course, you got the top part here with his 2D logo. Inward part says Cry Wolf. Guess that's supposed to be a reference to a boy who cry wolf. Don't really get what it has to do with the wolf from the game, but still pretty cool. Now on to the figure itself. Here is the figure itself. He has a little bone in his mouth, which is adorable, but also means that he is your friend, as anyone who plays Minecraft knows. He does not have red eyes as well, so that also means your friend. He also has a color on, which means you technically own him. And again, they do a similar pattern thing that they did with the Ender Dragon and the Creeper, but this time, instead of just regular squares, they make it look like it's popping out fur, which I thought was very unique and very cool. The patterns on him are also good, and as far as I can tell, he is the most stable out of the entire collection. So now, here's a 360 view. So overall, I would give the wolf a 10 out of 10. I almost gave it a 9 out of 10 solely because the way his head position is, it is technically hard to see the figure when it's facing normally. But the design with the box and the design with the figure and the fact that he is the most stable squeaked it out. So again, Wolf gets a 10 out of 10 for the final YouTooz figure in the Minecraft series. So overall, The first Minecraft YouTooz series gets a 9.7 out of 10. YouTooz SpongeBob. Let's begin. Starting off with Plankton. Outer box. Got his name, vinyl figure, YouTooz, and his figure. Inner box, he's number 14, name, face, the figure. Top part. And now for the figure itself. So here is the figure itself. The detail on him is pretty good. I like the little contraption that he has when he was controlling SpongeBob, as well I think it's the same one that he was controlling the robot SpongeBob. Stability is good because of the flower at the bottom. Also, props to them for coming up with that creative detail of having their stand be the typical bikini bottom flower. So I have a slight issue with this bottom part here, kind of being a little more exposed, kind of takes away a bit of the ambiance, but it's still very good, barely noticeable. Also like how they have the white logo eye thing in the center of his eye. It's very creative detail that they added. So overall, I give Plankton a 10 out of 10. I love the box design. I love the quotations, the stability is good, the design is great. So yeah, Plankton gets a 10 out of 10. Now moving on to one Squidward Tentacles. And here we have Inside Squidward, based on the meme of him staring outside at SpongeBob and Patrick while they're goofing off. Outer box. Have him on the front with SpongeBob and Patrick outside. Vinyl figure. Inside Squidward, YouTooz logo. And here's the inner box. He's actually number 3 in the series. YouTooz logo, him again with his name, the vinyl figure, and SpongeBob collection. And now for the top part. And now for the figure itself. And here is the figure itself. Forewarning, Squidward is detachable, as you saw before, and I just found that out. Thankfully, the figure was not damaged. I do actually like the idea that you can detach Squidward from the platform, because beforehand he was just facing out the window and you couldn't see him, but at least with him being detachable, you can get a full view of his face as well. There's no real YouTooz logo on here, but I think it fits for this specific situation, especially since the figure has him facing directly outside the window. It's kind of hard to add the logo eyes there. Stability is fantastic for both Squidward by himself and him on the platform, so that is also a good thing. I also like how, it doesn't really show it much in the box, but I like how we get his actual house here. I thought that was a smart move on their part. Yeah, don't pick Squidward up by here. I made that mistake earlier. So originally I was going to give this one a 9 out of 10 because I thought the figure came with just Squidward looking outside the window, but the fact that he is detachable convinces me to give him a 10 out of 10. I don't really like the face here entirely because he doesn't look like he's unhappy as it advertises in the box here. So on second thought, I take that back. So sorry for jinxing you like that. It is a 9 out of 10 because the face design here could have actually been better and it's kind of falsely advertised as shown in the box. Still a good figure though, still a good setting that we were given. So good job, YouTooz. Squidward Tentacles of Inside Squidward gets a 9 out of 10. Now moving on to I'ma Head Out SpongeBob. Here's SpongeBob heading out. Got him on the front, his name, the vinyl figure. Here's the rest of the box. So he is actually the first YouTooz version of the SpongeBob collection. Sorry, I know I had them out of order, but here's the outer box. And now I'll show you the top. And now for the figure itself. So the figure itself looks incredible, honestly. because it, like in the show, if I remember correctly, they make it look like the couch is kind of like blown up, so like it's made out of like air and stuff. And they did a really good job of kind of creatively deceiving the audience to make it look like this is actually blown up. The detailing, that's good. They got the detail and everything right on SpongeBob's face. Also, like to apologize for Squidward. He still gets a 9 out of 10, but I noticed they do add the logo in with their eyes. They actually did it in a creative way to where the lighting which reflects off their eyes is the YouTooz logo. So props to them for making that. He's not entirely, he's stable, but not stable. But overall, yeah, good figure. So even though the figure is good, I wasn't too impressed with the box art for this one. I know in terms of the meme, he doesn't actually say much, but the inside box for this one is pretty repetitive when compared to the other two. Like, there wasn't as much creative insight as the other two were given, so I gotta knock a point down for that. Also, the stability is good, but not as good as the others, or not as good in general for YouTooz. Like, I am worried that if I hit him too hard, I will knock him over. So SpongeBob heading out is gonna get an 8 out of 10 for this one. Still a great figure, still would recommend getting, especially if you are a fan of SpongeBob memes and stuff like that. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for SpongeBob heading out. So overall, this first video of SpongeBob characters gets a 9 out of 10. YouTooz 7 Days to Die. Let's start with the fat cop. Well, that sounds insensitive. Outer box, got his name, vinyl figure, and the figure itself you can see on the inside. Inner box, he is the first one of the series. Now for the top part. Never mind, there's nothing. Now for the figure itself. And here is the figure itself. The detail and design on him are pretty good. I like the added zombified pus and mucus, not to mention the blood-stained hands and the scars on his arms. The rips in his clothing, as well as the cuts and bruises from it, are a good added detail. Yeah, he's not very stable, so that's gonna knock him down a few points. He is a pretty cool figure though, and I do appreciate the fact that they did not hesitate to add as much detail as possible to the figure. Now for my final thoughts on it. Okay, so let's talk about this figure. I do like the figure, and I do like the design. The stability is not as good though, so he loses points for that. Also, as far as I could tell, there's only one quote on the box, which in most cases would be fine, except for the fact that when there is only one quote, you would expect that they would add some more detailed designs instead of just copying him on the sides as they did. Like for those of you who've seen my Minecraft video, I talked about how the Minecraft figures don't talk a lot, so YouTooz took their time to come up with different designs and different patterns that fit more their world instead of just being a carbon copy, instead of just copying and pasting the figure on the side. And they didn't quite do that here for this one. I'm hoping with the second figure they do, but unfortunately, because in my opinion the design for the box wasn't so good, the design for the figure is great. His stability is not so great though, so overall I'm going to give Fat Cop a 7 out of 10. He's just not as good as he could have been. I do like the design on the inside of this one though. Like I said, some parts of it are still good. It's just not as good as it could have been. So Fat Cop gets a 7 out of 10. Now moving on to Trader Jen. And here is Trader Jen. Outer box. here's the inner box. She is number 1 in the series. You see her name, 7 Ways to Die, final figure, YouTooz collection. She does have more quotes than Fat Cop does, so that is a benefit. But let's take a look at the top view. Again, no quote. Now for the figure itself. And here's the figure itself. In terms of creative design and detail, I think YouTooz did an excellent job of staying true to the character. You can see that she is wearing her tank top, a stethoscope, and her med pack. Let's check out the stability. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Not too impressed with the stability. Yeah, okay. Do not move her around a bunch. Still, all in all, pretty good figure. True to the design, true to the game. So I appreciate that. But let's now go to a final thoughts and reviews about this one. So overall, I would give Trader Jen a 8 out of 10. She did do better than Fat Cop. Reason being is, even though her figure is not as stable as his, she had more detail and design on her box than I think Fat Cop did, as well as more quotes. So she does outrank Fat Cop a bit because she has more quotes. Granted, he is a zombie, so it does make sense that he doesn't have as many quotes, but I felt they could have still been creative with that. She did have more creativity in terms of the background, but again, I feel like they ran into the same issue of just having a carbon copy of her on the side when they could have done something else if they ran out of quotes. Also, again, no quote on the inside, which took points away from them there. Her stability is not as great either, but if I were to compare both figures, I think she still comes out on top when compared to Fat Cop. So Trader Jen gets an 8 out of 10. Now let's go to our final thoughts and review. So, when tallying both scores up, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, the 7 Ways to Die YouTooz series comes about to a 7.5 out of 10.